Hey guys, my name is Alex and welcome to my channel. I'm 19 and I'm a sophomore, second semester at FIT. Typically I would be there, but with what's going on right now, I'm back at home in Ohio, quarantining like everyone should be. So a few of my TikToks recently kind of blew up, I guess that's the correct word. And a lot of you guys had questions on like the application process, how to get into FIT, and so I thought I would make one big video instead of trying to go through and individually answer like 500 comments. If you guys are interested in getting into FIT, where to start with your application process, or just you're kind of in the college search right now and you don't know if you want to go fashion route or normal route, then stay tuned and hopefully this video will help you guys with that process. I got all my info and I even dug up my essay, which is very cringy. We'll start with my stats. I'm gonna give myself ranges for my GPA, my ACT, and then I didn't take the SAT. So my GPA on a scale of 5.0, because I took a lot of IB and AP classes, I came out with between a 3.9 and a 4.1. I would say like average, you're a little higher than average from my high school. We had a lot of kids who had over 4.0s at my high school. And then my ACT was about 28 to 31. So it was kind of high, but not crazy high, like in the high 30s, or not high 30s because you can't get past 36. Actually, I wasn't planning on going to FIT and I kind of threw it in as like oh, let's just see if I get in kind of school. Like I wasn't one of those people who've like since freshman year been set on going to FIT, but I don't know, I visited New York with my dad and we stopped by the campus and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But like I never really thought like, oh, I'm gonna go to FIT. In high school, I was actually a ballet dancer and I had a pretty much full ride to South Carolina to do ballet. And so I was set senior year to go to South Carolina to go dance and continue that dream of mine. The day that I was like texting all my friends like, I'm committed, blah, 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 I found out in the mail that I got into FIT. So I was like, ooh. So now onto the application. There's a few parts to it. First off is your transcript, which they get to see all your grades. I wouldn't say grades are like the most important part, but that's also me saying like don't like stop trying in school, because yes, your grades are very important, but you also don't need to be like top of your class, like 36 ACT, like all that. You're gonna be fine if you have pretty solid grades. A few little slip ups here and there are fine. If they're not horrible, just keep like pushing yourself. So the biggest portion of the application is the essay. And for me personally, I'm a big writer and I love to write. So the essay was really exciting that I could get in by writing myself into the school, which is kind of technically what you're doing. We don't have a resume portion in the application. I said we, like I'm part of the like application committee. No, the school doesn't have a resume portion. So your essay is very important to get all of your extracurriculars, your exposure in the industry, internships, anything you've done, get that into the essay. That is like the main point I'm going to focus on in this, is just get everything about yourself into this essay, because there's nowhere else for them to see who you are, what you've done, what you're going to bring to the industry besides this essay. I would really focus on being like narcissistic, where it's just like all about you. A lot of people who haven't gotten kind of go off the idea that they're kind of writing another Common App, where you're going off on like a storyline about something that happened to you, and that's not how you want to approach this. You really want to kind of sell yourself to them, be like, I'm the coolest person ever, you really want me on your team, like get me into school, like I'm gonna be your next Michael Kors. They really are looking for someone who kind of is a little cocky in the essay. So I'm gonna break down my essay by paragraph so I can give you guys like a general idea of what I talked about. My first paragraph, I talked about me realizing that fashion is the career path I want to take and that FIT is the place I want to be. And then I went into paragraph 2 where I talked about my own personal industry experience. And this is kind of really important for everyone to somehow find something in your life that relates to the industry. So for me, I've done some modeling, so I talked about that and how the small jobs I had in my home, like my mother agency at home, has kind of exposed me to the world or the fashion industry, and how that has influenced me to kind of fall in love with it. And then I also talked about ballet, which is kind of the point I want to focus on. If you don't have any experience, pull something out from your life that could kind of relate. So I talked about ballet, and I said ballerinas have strong work ethics. So that is something I'll bring to FIT, is a strong work ethic. You could say that if you're like a soccer player, you're like dedicated. And so that would be something really good to throw in, be like, I dedicate 5 days a week to soccer, so you could really see me dedicating a lot of time to my work at FIT. If you're young, if you're like a sophomore, even a junior in high school, get yourself like a retail job. That will look great on your resume, or your essay, not your resume, that you kind of thrown yourself out there already, even though retail, yeah, it seems small, but it's something to get your feet wet into the industry. Also look around. A lot of cities have internships for high school students that revolve around fashion, so that could be something that would be beneficial for your essay. Just kind of look around and get yourself exposed to things. Reach out to people on Instagram. So paragraph 3 talks about how I will benefit them as an FIT and how I'll benefit the industry. You really want to present yourself as if you're the new giant designer or giant businessman or woman for the school that they will have as notable alumni. They really want to find people who will stand out in the industry, who will excel, and who will be that new superstar for them. And you really want to present yourself as if you are that. Even if you don't want to be that, just tell them that you're going to be everything they want. My fourth paragraph is all about school, and I just talked about my grades, my dedication to my schoolwork, different things I'm part of, like National Honor Society, my IB courses, my AP courses, any like community service work I've done. So kind of just get into your academic area in a paragraph. Doesn't have to be really a 4th paragraph, but get really deep into all the hard work you've put in, because you've done 4 years of high school. Like, yeah, you're gonna want to show that off. Paragraph 5 talks about me just kind of wrapping everything up. It's kind of a mini conclusion, just me hoping that they recognize my abilities. And then I can't believe I said this, but at the end I said, can't wait to see you in the 2018-2019 school year. Like, I already got in. Yeah, I don't know if you should say that, but maybe say something like, hopefully I'll see you then. That kind of gives you an idea of my essay. I think it could have been stronger, but I hope you guys see that it's really focused on you, and it's not going off on like, oh, story time, I went to a New York fashion show, or New York Fashion Week show, you know? You really want to just be a narcissist. That's so bad to say. So now that I went over the essay and kind of the application process, I'm gonna go through a list of questions that you guys asked me and hopefully give you more information that I kind of missed talking about other stuff. So what's my major? I am fashion business management. I am currently second semester sophomore, so I'm about to get my associates, and then I'm going to move on to bachelor's program, and I'm going to do the same thing, fashion business management. I didn't want to go off in a different path because I really love my major right now. Parsons or FIT? Ooh, okay. There was a kind of a debate going on in the comments section of one of my videos on TikTok, and personally, I'm very for FIT. And I'd have no hate against Parsons or anything. I love the community of FIT. We have like our own street, and it's very cozy, and you kind of feel like you have a campus even though it's just a street. A lot of people who go to Parsons say it's very spread out and you don't get that kind of college community. Don't get me wrong, FIT really doesn't have like a huge college community, but personally from what I've heard just by environment, FIT is the route to go. Parsons and FIT have a lot of like same professors and stuff, so you're getting like pretty much the same education. I don't know much about Parsons, but that's kind of what I know from that. There's kind of better people to ask for that question. Next, do you think going to fashion school over normal college gives you an advantage in the industry? Yes. So I knew I wanted to do fashion like as a major, like to any college I went to. Even if I did ballet, I would double major fashion and ballet. But I ended up deciding on FIT because of how much exposure to the industry I'll get, and having that name on my resume is going to be so beneficial for getting a career. I go to so many internship interviews and they're like, oh, you go to FIT, we want you, like right there on the spot. They're like, they see the name, they're like, I want you. I think it really is beneficial to have the name. But that being said, you're not getting your normal college experience, and that's something I really struggled with my freshman year. I saw all my high school friends posting like football games, frat parties, Greek life, all that on their social medias, and I was like, oh, I really want to do that. But then I had to really think to myself, like, no, Alex, you're here for your career, and you're gonna do this so you have the best setup possible at the end of this. And it's New York, like you have so many opportunities, experiences to have, like it is very cool. You're gonna have a cool college experience. So someone asked about menswear or design, so I'm not in the design department, so I wanted to talk about FBM over AMC. FBM is fashion business management, which I'm in. AMC is advertising, marketing, communications, which some of my friends are in. Just kind of like the general difference between both of them is FBM has fashion, a lot of fashion courses. AMC kind of lacks the fashion aspect. If you want to go into like marketing, advertising, AMC is for you. If you kind of want to go into like buying, styling, forecasting, anything like that, production management, all that, FBM. Both are great, just kind of that's the main difference I would say when applying and like selecting a major to go with. And it's really hard to switch your major, so I would really look at their website and go through the curriculum, because once you start with something, it's really hard to get out and go to something else. Anything you recommend doing beforehand? I kind of talked about this earlier. I would really focus on getting yourself like some type of job, like maybe a retail job if you're young enough and you have time to kind of do that for maybe half a year, a year. But really just, it's the essay and just talking about yourself. Tie anything in, like you take care of your siblings at home. Well, that shows that you are responsible, you are mature, stuff like that. The smallest things that you think can't tie in really can be tied into your essay. Did you do anything in high school related to your major? No, except modeling, which was kind of small, so no. Favorite thing about FIT? Oh gosh, okay, there's a lot. They offer you so much. Like the other month we had like a viewing of Project Runway, and Brandon Maxwell and Carly Kloss and everyone, like the whole cast came and talked to everyone. Or they invited us to a Louis Vuitton show, and so a bunch of us got to go see that. We get Fashion Week, we get to volunteer for a lot of designers and get to see that aspect of the behind the scenes stuff, which is so cool. So there's so much stuff, and the people are so cool. You get to meet a lot of like lifetime or lifelong friends who will be like by your side throughout this entire process and even past school. Scholarships. So I honestly don't know if FIT I don't think they give out scholarships, I'm not positive. I'm in the honors program and they give us a $500 scholarship each semester, I think, or like reduction off tuition, but that's the only one I've heard of. I know there's a lot of like independent scholarships you can apply for, but I don't think the school gives out scholarships. I could be wrong, they could give international students them. I don't know. Okay, so rent and cost. That's a big one. So I'm lucky, I'm very fortunate, and my parents pay for school, and I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm out of state, which is a little bit more expensive. I forget the cost. I think it's, I don't know, but I know it's less for in-state. And for rent's crazy, and that's a big thing with dorming. So freshman year, you're not guaranteed a dorm. Pretty likely you can get one, but it's not guaranteed. I lived in this place called Nagler Hall. Don't even apply to live in Nagler, but if you do get there, make the best of it. It's fine. Once you pass freshman year, there's a sophomore, junior, senior building called Kaufman. A lot of people apply. I would say a good amount gets in, but not everyone gets accepted to Kaufman. So a lot of people are stuck finding apartments in the city. It can get very pricey, but we were really lucky and we found a great deal in Herald Square. So I have 2 roommates and we turned a 1-bedroom apartment. We got walls put up. So we took a 1-bedroom and made it a 3-bedroom. So that's also an option to cut costs, is living with people. But it is very, very expensive to live in New York. Just prepare for that. A lot of people have jobs. I have a job. I work at Brandy Melville. So getting kind of like a second income coming in besides like my parents' support is very helpful. Can you go to school for modeling? No. So that's a question that myself and all of my friends get all the time, is are you going to school for modeling? No. You can't go to FIT to be a model. Like, there's no modeling major. A lot of girls go to FIT because they do model, so they are signed with an agency in the city and then they go to school on the side. A lot of people also are like, we see you modeling like in classrooms and stuff, like what are you doing? Like, isn't that modeling for school? No. A lot of photographers at the school will ask girls to model for them, or we have a school magazine where a lot of students model for the magazine. We have a school put together runway show called Runway 27, so all the students model for that. There's a lot of modeling opportunities through the school, but we don't have like a modeling program. And then since it's a 2-year college, do people go to a different college, or do they go straight to work? So we can be a 4-year school if you want to go that path. You can stop after your associates. They have a 1-year and a 2-year associates plan, and then they have like the full 4-year bachelor's. A lot of people continue on to the bachelor's. I know all my friends are. There's people who do stop at associates and then go straight into the workforce, but it's just really up to kind of the path you want to take. We do have a lot of people who transfer in and then they can take like the 1-year associates and then either continue on to their bachelor's. It's just kind of what appeals to you and what you want to do with your career. And do all programs need a portfolio? I don't know, I can't speak for other programs, but for us, for FBM and AMC, no, you don't need a program or a portfolio. But that's kind of what I was saying with your essay. That's where you put all your portfolio, is like all your experience, kind of your resume is thrown on there. Okay, so that's pretty much it with getting into FIT, your resume, your application and everything. If you have any more comments, you can leave them below and I'll try to go through and answer them. I can also make a part 2 if you guys are interested. Let me know if you like these kind of videos, if you want more videos. Once I get back to the city, we can do some vlogs, all my friends and I, or more Q&As, stuff like that. And I would love to show you around like a day in the life of school. Yeah, so subscribe, like, do all that, and hopefully we'll make some more of these.